Hey, it's the Chief Bonnie with Board Games and RPGs, and this is an announcement about my Series 2 of Twilight 2000. So, first of all, Episode 1 of Season 1 has broken 1,000 views. Awesome. And it's climbing. So thank you to all of you that have helped get out the word. So I like to say that Hollywood may be on strike, but I'm not. I'm also not really getting paid. But you can always go to Patreon or you can subscribe and that'll help out the show. So what am I talking about? If you haven't seen my Series 1 on Twilight 2000, that's what I'm talking about. I had an evil character. Season 2 is being announced now, and it will not be evil characters. There were some orphans that were saved by the evil character. Yes, he was evil, but sometimes he did nice things. You have to go tune in if you want to see what those are. But there was a lot of audience appeal for the orphans. So the orphans will be back. The orphans will be the focus of Season 2. Now, I'm not going to start filming right away. That's why I have Into the Odd and Death in Space out here. We'll talk about them in a second. I do have the Urban Ops. With me playing solo and the way I was already handling all the urban stuff, I don't think it's going to help much, to be quite honest with you. I used to play Twilight 2000 back in the day. That's the original box there. And I'm not saying it'll go this way, but even back then, I was intrigued with the gunboats, the little tugboats that had guns. And it seems like, kind of like a Huck Finn adventure for the orphans. Maybe, if possible, I could see steering them towards the river systems. There's got to be these armed boats. Maybe I figure they're hauling grain from maybe where it is to where it needs to be. The river system is the cheapest way to move goods, and if they can protect themselves and they can find the fuel, that'll be the deal. I think the kids, the orphans, jumping in, look at that, jumping in on this riverboat system would be fun. That is my idea. The second thing that I want the kids to do is Pacheco. Pacheco, I don't want to ruin anything for those that haven't seen Season 1. So I will just say Pacheco had quite the influence on the orphans. And one of the themes I like to do, so for this one, my evil character was using the 48 Laws of Power, a Machiavellian-style book, to direct some of his actions. Each episode used one of those laws that he would then follow, if possible, within an episode. I'm going to use Marcus Aurelius's Meditations for the orphans. They were gifted, we're making this up now, this book from Pacheco, and told that, it's wisdom from millennia ago, and that they could do well by following Marcus Aurelius's Lamentations, maybe. And so I will use some of the, if not many of the, probably not all of the guiding principles. This will be what the orphans will use to guide themselves, that Stoic philosophy. I think that works perfect. And I think making that be their guiding principle in this chaotic post-apocalyptic world will be fun for me and hopefully entertaining to watch. So that will be coming in the future. I probably won't be filming on that at least until November, because I did promise to go back to my Viking and the Twins. Into the Odd. I had a very odd episode. There's only one of them. It's like an hour long, and I was just trying out the system. And I love it. So Chris McDowell's very light, narrative-driven, common sense-driven system is wonderful. And I have to return to Vike. He wants to be a Viking. He believes he is a Viking. He was born, but he's lived as a Viking in the past. And his two little friends are twin brothers who are little people. And we haven't fleshed them out too much, although we got a lot of their personality. And they'll be back. They're his sidekicks. So if you haven't seen the first episode, it's weird and a little interesting. And we're going to go do one more of these. One more of these. I'd like to use these as like a palate cleanser. A little palate cleanser in between my other shows. Yes. Speaking of palate cleansers, I want to start a similar palate cleansing with Death in Space. But Death in Space is some far future deal where the segment of space they're in is collapsing in upon itself. Everything's being reused by necessity, by need, and I've had an idea, a kernel of an idea, that there is a ship that has a brilliant AI on it. And this AI always manages to find a captain. And here's the really weird part, and this is what my brain does. The AI is all about using the captain and whoever the crew are to facilitate his chef ambitions. Yes, chef. Yeah. Food. Everybody's got to have food. Matter of fact, if you make it really, really good and you have a way to get the ingredients, your own little ship, which happens to be brilliant, you can make a lot of money selling, catering your food to whoever can afford it. And maybe there's a little bit of thievery on the side, possibly, as well with the crew. So that's my idea. AI, the ship itself, is a character, and it's all about serving high-level food. Weird, but that is the idea that came in, and I want to do it in this. So that's the plan as well. So that is it. That is the future. I will be doing season 2. There's some other things I continue to do. I'm still doing my live Maze Rats show every other weekend, where you can observe and you can even put in comments, or you could even eventually run a character like Never Fear 1911. And it's basically me taking input from the viewers in this live adventuring, currently city exploration game that we're doing using the Maze Rats rules from Ben Milton, and they are awesome. So that's going to continue. I've got a live session, West Marches, with folks that are coming over here, so that's keeping me busy. And from Free League, The Walking Dead's coming, and my co-host and best friend, who's on the Scotch Test Dummy show, the set that we're on here, agreed to come here and film episodes of The Walking Dead once it comes from Free League. And apparently it's getting close. So we'll be in Atlanta trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. And I have no idea what Bruno, my best friend's, going to do or what character he'll make. I kind of have some ideas, but we're stuck in Atlanta. That's where we're starting. We're stuck right in the city. Woo! Lot. We got a lot coming. Chief Bonnie with Board Games. If you want to see it, please like and subscribe. You can even go check out my Patreon. Look up Bonnie with Board Games if you so desire. Helps out a lot. See you guys.